Good morning, good morning. I decided to do a little bit different this morning. I'm just gonna get ready. Haven't felt like putting on makeup for a few days, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. I should put this up some here, maybe. I don't know. Little book or something. I have it somewhere here. The Bible. It was my grandma's Bible, actually. Okay. Well. Yeah, whatever. I should, this is my husband's shirt. So, I want this up higher. I like it right there. You know what? I'm gonna find my tripod. One moment. I just washed my kitchen floor. I'm gonna send it to my bed still. All right. And there we go. Gotta start with shaving. It's not only men that shave, ladies do too. Especially when you're over 40 or 50. So, how do you all start your days? This wasn't how I start my day. I started my day drinking 18 ounces of water, 12 ounces of coffee. Hello, Nicola. How are you? Thanks for joining me. And then I was learning from Ema. I don't remember the rest of her channel name on Instagram. But she does lots of healthy portion control and all that kind of stuff, eating. So that's what I was sitting and learning about. A lot of times I would only, and this would interest you because you have all your sorts of recipes as well. I mean, I would think it would interest you. So, yeah, so I was just learning lots about, excuse me. Shall I put my makeup on here? Portion control. And what to put in the portions as well. Not just the control, but what are we eating? What are we consuming a day? So, and yes, this is something that my sister, oldest sister, has talked about before with me, but somehow I just can't seem to stick to things very well. So I have been using, this is my old lipstick. I have been using, whatchamacallit, Simple Life app, but trying to decide if I want to go through the PharmaSave app with the PC or if I just want to stick to what I'm doing. And I'm not quite sure. I am gonna do some cooking and baking. Probably just cooking now, baking later if I still have energy because my son wants to go driving, so. So in a little bit, what I'm going to share with you is what she's been sharing with me, and maybe hugs to you as well. Appreciate you being here, Nicola. Nicola Recipes. If you're looking for some amazing recipes to try, check out Nicola Recipes. All right, I have to do my other. I might have to add some more eyeliner, but my cell phone is closer than my mirror, so I might just use my cell phone. I'm glad to have you here. Yeah, so I just thought, you know, self-care is so important. Just winding down your day. What time is it there? I forget where you live. I had to ask Evie about 5 times where she was from or more. I finally remember where she's from. So I might ask you 5 or 6 times where you're from. And it will eventually stick in my brain. So this shirt that I'm wearing, I'm just going to do a little bit of a pitch for myself once I put my hair down. It's 8:40 p.m. Oh, Italy. Right. Okay, Italy. Nicola is from Italy. Are you from Italy, or did you move there? And live, were you raised elsewhere? On the video, my hair looks way more big than it actually is. Oh well. So now what are we going to do? We are going to go bake. I need to buy some hand lotion of some sort. Oh, can't forget the little spritz. Love that. I'm going to put deodorant on. Give me a second. All right. I'm from Malaysia, living between both countries. Okay. So are you working in Italy or in Malaysia or what? If you don't mind me asking. Come on. Where's Joey? Where's Joey? Make sure he's not. Oh, there you are. Okay. Need my cup of water. Oh, thank you. I'm actually feeling quite well today. I mean, I have my pains, but I've been making sure that, one second, as I'm speaking about this, I've been making sure that I'm taking 2 extra strength Advil every 4 to 6 hours. And so that seems to be taking the edge off of the pain. So I want to do that because I don't know if it was Tuesday. Yeah, maybe it was Tuesday. My pain was so severe that I was actually in tears. So I decided I better start taking our extra strength Advil every few hours and keep myself on a lower level of pain, anyhow. I am working online so I can do both places. Kath, my kids are all adults, so lately I find myself more here. Okay, well that's nice. We still have one at home. We have 2 that are adults. One's 29, one's 26, and our youngest is, one second. Hey, no, get down. Leonard, no, Joey, no. Leonard, no, go lay down. Go lay down. Thank you. Oh, that's okay. Typos are fine. I can figure out usually what somebody's saying. Would you mind doing me a favor, Nicola? Could you put a like on my video? That would be amazing. Yeah, and then we have a 16, almost 17-year-old still at home. So, yeah. And basically, I do estimates for our business. It's so much easier now, right, when they are all independent. Yes, exactly. I still have one who is kind of independent, but not really. Still trying to guide him and direct him. I'm going to take out a bunch of meat from the freezer, because I think I'm going to try to prepare a bunch of different meats at a time. Is this all fruit and vegetables? Yes, that is all fruit and vegetables. So I made ice cream, homemade ice cream yesterday. But gotta get that out of my way. I have hamburger already cooked up. So how do you do your meals? Is it just yourself? Are you married? Are you with a partner? What is this? Beans? No, mushrooms. Oh, yes. Yeah. Hi, Parminder Singh. How are you? This is already cooked. So I'm going to prepare with spices and that way it's easier for me to, some salmon, and my family to grab something to eat. I'm glad that you're doing well, Parminder. Thanks for joining me today. And above is Nicola Recipes. She's got some great recipes on her channel. And if you're interested in checking those out, let's see, what else can I do? I wonder if I need to go grocery shopping. What is this? Not sure. To check out what this is. Okay, that's nice. So he also works online, or he's retired, or I don't know if you're my age. Well, I guess if all your kids are grown up, you're probably around my age. Hamburgers. I could even cook a couple of those up, just to have them ready. I just want to get, sorry for all the noise. Try to figure out what I have in my freezer. 4 kids are all in Malaysia, and I will be back next month. Oh, nice. So do you have grandkids yet? Do you think you will have grandkids if you don't? What is this? Ribs. All right. I think about the same age, 55. Yep, I'll be 54 in November, so yeah, pretty close. Pretty close to the same age. Sorry for all the noise. I'm gonna make some soup as well, I think. I can't eat corn, but others can, so I'll just not eat the corn. Yeah, so do you just do spontaneous meals? That's what I've done for a long time, but I'm trying to do things healthier. And I'm really bad at eating when I'm by myself. Eating healthy anyhow. Oops, sorry. So I am washing because my sons are both in there early. Oh, wishing. son's in their early 30s, and they said soon. I will just be patient. Yes, I think, well, so far I have one that might be having kids, the other one will not, and the youngest, well, who knows, because he's too young as far as I'm concerned, and as far as he's concerned as well. What else should I throw in here? Let's check it out. Right now, I'm gonna be doing some chicken soup. Then I've got some of my meats already cooked up, but I'm gonna do some salmon. I'm going to do some chicken. I've already boiled the chicken because I didn't want it to go bad. So I boiled the chicken. Now I'm gonna saute it, add some spices to it, and then put it in a container in the fridge. And that way we can all eat when we're ready to, because my son's not always home when it's supper time, so, or meal time, so hopefully this will work. I don't know, just gotta try something new. So yeah, I did chicken soup not long ago, but I thought, I always save the carcasses when I buy roasted chickens, and so I save the carcasses yeah. But that'll be not what I'm eating right now. I don't know what I'm gonna eat right now. I wanna also bake up some sweet potato. I'm just gonna start eating that once in a while as my carb. So I'm gonna be trying to do the 2/3 cup protein, cup of vegetables, and I think it was, I have to double check, half a cup or a 1/3 cup of carb. So whether that's rice, potato, sweet potato, or whatever. Try to stay away from breads unless I've made it. So I'm gonna try making one of these days too. I'm gonna try to make the cottage cheese wraps, the spinach and oats wrap. I saw that one today. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying to do a variety of things. Not all today, obviously. But right now, I'm going to strain my. Why are you whining? You've already been outside. I'm gonna strain my. Go lay down. Dominic doesn't want you in his room right now. I'm gonna strain my broth because, which one shall I use? This one probably. Because I basically do like a bone broth. And here I've already got ground beef, mushrooms, a bunch of spices, onions, and I never used to be able to eat onions until I started changing my eating habit as of recent. I would get bloated so bad. There was a couple times that I would eat onions and I just ended up looking like I was 3 to 6 months pregnant, and in so much pain. But now that I've been eating healthier, not eating out, all that kind of stuff, that often anyhow, maybe when we have a visitor we might go out. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to try to do. I've been trying other things. Oh yes, and garlic, of course. I put garlic in everything almost, so, and then peppers. So this is something that I've already cooked up, but I'm going to put it in a container, let it defrost, put it in a container in the fridge, and then it'll be ready for me to make spaghetti sauce or whatever. My husband's Mexican, so he does not like ground beef in his tacos. He doesn't like ground beef in his Mexican food. Which makes sense. And then this is all mushroom. I didn't want it to go bad, so I cut it all up and fried it, cooked it. So before this gets too hot, I am going to, I'll show you here what I'm going to do. I think, let me see. There's my, all right. So you can see this. I'm going to just want the broth, and then we'll get whatever chicken is left after. So, because I don't want bones in here, of course. So in Malaysia, tell me about the foods that you eat there. What kind of foods do you eat? I have to watch more of your recipes, but like in Mexico, different things that we don't eat here. Let me just see if I can. Why can't I put this back like I did before? Anyhow, oh, this part. Okay. In Mexico, different things that I've eaten that here in Canada, most white people wouldn't eat, and that is like the stomach lining, unless they've been, you know, they're part of another culture as well. Stomach lining and soup, that's very good. Chicken feet, I don't eat. Like I told my mother-in-law, I asked her, I said, is it all like tendons and veins and stuff? And she said, yeah. I said, well, I don't even eat that on other parts of the chicken, so I don't think I'm gonna like that. But she was always very understanding, so. Yeah, I enjoy learning about other countries. And then we've had friends from India, so oh, here we go. We are blessed in Malaysia because it's a very diverse country. Main food in Chinese is Chinese Indian. Okay, and we have everything else from Thai, Japanese, Western, etc. It's a very strong food culture. Oh, here too. Now that we have so many, we're a very diverse country as well. But like we have people from everywhere here. Everywhere. I would not, yeah, I don't know how to, there's just so many people from everywhere here, which I love. I haven't really met anybody from Malaysia. I don't think, I mean, maybe I have, but it's very strong food culture, yes. Much like the US. My aunt and cousins are in the US. Yeah, it's very similar, but even though there is some, what do you call it, racism, prejudice here, I find it more obvious in the States, even before all this stuff started happening with the new government and everything. But my husband has experienced Wisconsin and Kansas City. Oh, that's where your cousins are? My sister-in-law is from Wisconsin. And I lived in Minnesota, which is close to Wisconsin, for 3 years. I think it was 2.5, 3 years. So can you get down? My dog, sometimes I give them chicken when I'm standing here cooking. I'm going to try to get all of it in the soup, and then I'll portion off some of this for the animals. So how old are all of your kids? Also, as I'm asking that, I'm inviting people to do lives with me Thursdays. Would you be interested in doing a live with me? If not, that's fine, but if you would like to, that would be wonderful as well. We can talk about cooking, we can talk about your recipes, We can talk about different kinds of things, each other's countries, cultures, just whatever. 32 and 31, the boys, and 24 and 23, the girls. Oh, okay. Nice. So, 2 just a bit older than my oldest, and 2 just a bit younger than my middle one. I would love to, but this coming week I am traveling a little within Italy. I have actually booked up the next 3 Thursdays, I believe it is, or 4. So I generally try to book down the road a little bit. So once you know your schedule, we can book, or we could even do a different day that's not Thursday. It doesn't have to be Thursday. Sometimes I'll do a live where I'm gonna wash my hands. Sometimes I'll do a live where people will just jump on the live if I'm on by myself, but I do have, I'm on somebody else's Jarrett Talks interviews. This, I don't know if you can hear me, sorry, I'm standing a little bit off. This Tuesday, yeah, it will be nice. Yeah, so that would be good. Hopefully we can coordinate our schedules. This one that I will throw out. And it'll eventually work when it's supposed to. So I find it very nice because we can get to know each other a little bit better. I think it just makes YouTube all the more personable instead of just being, just watching TV is what it was like, but now it's starting to be you're able to make friends without just the typing, so I think that's very fun. I need to be more daring talking on live. Well, practice with me. I'm very laid back, and I don't think everything has to be perfect. So, and I don't think they should be, I think being live, true, I agree, I enjoy watching lives. Yes, watching lives is great, but being on one is actually quite fun. And then when there's one night, I just decided I'm going to do a live. And so I had, at the end of the live, for the last 15-20 minutes, I had a couple other ladies join me. That's awesome that you will join me. That will be so fun. Yeah, I love having other people, other guests, and sometimes at the end of the videos we'll do spontaneous, just inviting other people up onto the live. So that will be fun as well. So I'm going to get some vegetables now. I wonder if I should put more water in there. I think I'll put a little bit more water. This one probably won't be my supper, but I'll put some more water, and then I'm going to put another carcass in there. Yeah, for the other 2 ladies that came on my live at the end, was very fun. This Tuesday I'm on somebody else's live. Like I said, Jarrett Talks interviews. And then I will have Heartily Happy. I don't know if you know her. I think you might. Are you from, did I meet you, whose live did I meet you on? Was it Exploradora 80? Was that where I met you? I can't remember. Because we seem to be on a lot of the same lives, watching other people's lives now. So I don't really remember where I met you. Sorry for walking away. I'm still here. Maybe. I know that we were both on her live, but I know I've seen you more frequently than that on other people's lives. So, do you know Exploradora 80? Rob the Maritime Timer? Yep. Could be his as well. I don't know. I'm thinking I saw you first on Dora's live. And then I've seen you on many other lives as well. But yeah, the last live that Karen and Krista, is that the one you're talking about? The live that they did, it was very good. Helped me feel not so stuck in my YouTube channel, because I was feeling stuck because I started my YouTube channel this last time, in September of last year. I started more talking about my health journey, and then yeah, it was a very good one. And then I started talking about because I have chronic illness, so I just want to spread awareness about it. I don't want to whine about it, just spreading awareness about it, because it's not something that people know or understand about. And then I was separated, so then that became part of it, and then we reconciled, so that's also part of it. And there's two things that I haven't really incorporated yet, which is my self-care, which is, you know, this, I'm trying to cook a bunch, prepare a bunch ahead of time. And then, yes, because it might help someone going through it too. Yes, exactly. So, and that's what I find. That's what some people have said. Either going through it, or I had one lady follow me for a while. And she said that there was somebody in her church with the same chronic illness that I have, but nobody understood it because it's an invisible illness, right? We put up with our pain. We we have to say no to a lot of things where people are like, well, why? You look fine. So she was a little bit judged by other people because she could go shopping and do fun things, and go out for coffee, but she couldn't, you know, help put away chairs and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's more of a physical exertion. Even visiting is a mental exertion, which are both parts of that affect the chronic illness. So anyhow, that's part of it. So that wasn't an intended conversation, but then, yeah, my self-care, which is painting, eating healthy, trying to get exercise, but that's not that I don't like to exercise. I love exercising, but my body doesn't always respond well. I am here listening, please. Oh, yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, and then another part of my self-care is, you know, my painting, like I'd said in this shirt, this is my husband's shirt, but I asked if I could wear it today. Thank you, Nicola. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll just continue talking because this will end up being posted to our YouTube channel anyhow, right? So, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you still being here. And so, yeah, so this is my clothing line. I send my prints, I take pictures of my painting. I send them off to Montreal and they print them. And I choose what styles and what clothing that I want to put the designs on. So I've also worn a jumper that I have that's similar to this, same style, same print, but a jumper. On my YouTube channel, in the description, I have a link to my clothing line if ever anybody's interested. Another part of my self-care is trying to clean with chemical-free. Thank you, Nicola. Yeah, this is my favorite pattern, actually, so far. And then trying to clean with chemical-free products. So that's another item that I actually do sell as well. So, which is Norwex. And then, which I have a link, I believe, on my description on my YouTube channel, which I will be doing more videos of that kind of stuff, that nature. And then I will be talking about, and I have talked a little bit about different things that in the, I don't know if you are religious at all, but in the churches that I was raised in, different ways that there's spiritual manipulation and spiritual abuse that takes place. And so those things I will be talking about as well. Eventually, I just have to build up that nerve or confidence, or saying it properly, you know? Because I'm not against church 100%. It's just the manipulation that can happen, and blindly following your leaders is not right either. So, hello, Sophie, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. Yes, I am deep in faith, but not a church goer much. No, me neither. I used to be, my husband actually used to be a pastor. And so, and I've born and raised in church, and glad you're doing well, Sophie. Where are you from again, Sophie? I know I've seen you before. Where are you based? What part of, are you in the States? Nicola, have you met Nicola as well? If you haven't met Nicola, say hi to her. I appreciate you both being here. North Carolina. So what time is it there now in North Carolina, Sophie? Nicola says, no, I haven't met Sophie, and she says hi. Hi, Nicola Recipes says 60 plus, and Sophie. It's kind of good to get your full name out there. 3:13, so you're 2 hours ahead of me. And Nicola sends hugs. She is in Italy, and back and forth between Italy and Malaysia. I'm in Canada, in, I don't know if you've heard of Saskatchewan, Canada. The city is Saskatoon. It's a very, very small, not the smallest province, but a smaller province of Canada. Population-wise, not space-wise. Oh, yes, you have. Okay, nice. Not a lot of people have. You've never been to Canada. Where else have you been? Have you been out of the States? Oh, Joey. Hello, Joey. Would you like to say hello? This is Joey, my Chewini. Yes, I was talking about church, and yep, church. There's nothing wrong with church per se. Oh no, I'm in Canada. I lived in the States for 3 years, 2.5 years. Yes, I grew up in church as well. So what are your takes on blindly following your leaders? I'm gonna put you down, little one. No, Leonard, stop. My favorite professor in Bible school in Minnesota, that's why I was there. I go and participate, but I feel that believing in God and going to church are two different things. Yes. Now that's one of the manipulative things that I find pastors will do. Church is a business. That's how I see it as well. My husband and I stopped going in during COVID, and haven't returned since. But haven't stopped believing in God either. Just kind of seeing more, kind of like stepping out of an unhealthy relationship and when you step out of big organizations like this, there's not a lot of, you just have to heal from it, right? I can't say much because I was in Catholic church. It's the same. My faith is deep and between me and Christ. That's it. That's exactly it. And that's how it should be. You know, whether you're Catholic, whether you're evangelical or whatever belief that you have. We were even talking, my husband and I were talking to a Muslim here. And he was telling my husband the same thing, is that, the leaders, it's all basically the same as here, the evangelical. And I believe that, when it's an organized religion, it's not always, but it can be very manipulative. So I won't say that 100% of the churches are like that, but I also won't say that if you go to church and if you're born and raised in a church that you are a Christian. Just because your parents are Christian doesn't mean you're a Christian. And sometimes I don't even like the term Christian because it has so much negative stigma to it. So like the church that we were working in for 9 years, my husband and I, our pastor there would, one second, my faith is strong, but I won't put any of the leaders up on a pedestal. We serve the same God, and they'll have to account for their lives just like I will. Exactly. And that's what I like. What you said about true Sophie, Nicola says. What you were saying about going to church and believing in God are two different things. That's totally 100% true, and that's what a lot of pastors, though not all pastors, or ministers, or priests, or whatever the case may be, they won't all do this, but I've seen a lot do this, and that is, if you're serving God, you're going to be at church, right? And put God first and your family second. Well, church and God, like you say, Sophie, are two different things. It took me a long time and a lot of church hurt to realize. Yes, exactly. Us as well. And yeah, we've been through a lot of church hurt as well. And that is something that I've shared a little bit of on my channel for myself personally. But I will be eventually sharing more of our church hurt, and just kind of more talking about I don't know, different things that I believe are man-made as opposed to God-made or God ordained. And unfortunately, yeah, that is what happens. We end up, even though sometimes we don't realize we might be putting, a leader on a pedestal, sometimes we do. And then we think they can do no wrong. And then when they do fall, there are so many that end up being hurt, right? But they're human. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to sin. That's not to justify it. That's for the lay people, the people that are there listening, to understand that you don't put your faith in a human being. You only put your faith in God. And we're there at church to encourage each other in our walk, to live life together, and not to judge each other. And that's one thing too that I will be talking about more on my channel too, and that's love. I feel that it's always been this way. Absolutely, says Sophie. I find that there's not a lot of thank you for the green clovers. There's not a lot of real love in the church. And I was part of that before too. We did a lot more judging than we did loving. We would say that we loved everybody, but the action, the way we spoke about people, didn't really show that. So when God is love, it doesn't say that he only loves certain people. God is love means that he loves everybody. He's very inclusive. shall I say. He's a safe place. And that's what I want my channel to be too. I want my channel to be a safe place for people to come to share their stories, to share what they've been through if they want to, or just to listen to me and be encouraged that that God doesn't expect us to be more than we are. All he wants for us is to have a life that is filled with joy. Yes, as human beings, we need to better ourselves today than we were yesterday. That is 100%. There's nobody out there without sin. There's nobody out there who is perfect. So each of us needs to better ourselves and become a better human being. But I think it's so easy. Like what I've seen in churches, I've seen racism in churches. I see it, throughout the internet, even friends of ours, family members. My husband is Mexican. I have seen prejudice against poor people in churches. I remember my sister-in-law, this was before either of us were married, my sister and I, we had gone to a First Assemblies in Calgary, and I remember very specific, like we would always sit up on the balcony because there was a balcony up there and then, the church below. And so we would sit up there, and I happened to see this lady come in and sat down in a pew, right? And guess what happened? 3 or 4 people moved over, probably about, a good 2 feet away from her. After that, I was just like, you know what? That was rude. That is not loving. That is horrible. I don't care if this lady hasn't been able to shower in 2 months or 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. If she's poor, if she's dressed in rags, I don't care. That is not the way you treat a human being. It's very sad, Nicola. That is very sad. And we are supposed to be, if we are the church, doesn't matter, like I said, doesn't matter if you're Catholic, doesn't matter if you're evangelical, I don't care. Protestant, whatever. We are here to love others. And we are not here to judge others. That is not what we are here for. So anyhow, that was just my little rant. But I really appreciate you guys being here. I enjoy, Sophie, 60 plus, and Sophie. I have seen people struggle with paying bills, but faithfully gave to the church while the pastor prospered from a small home to a gated community with a 5,000 plus square foot home. Yeah, exactly. Or their jets, or this is a deep, good, important conversation to have. But yeah, even the jets, that some of the televangelists have, and all that kind of stuff. You are so right, and I don't believe that is God blessing those people. I believe that is them blessing themselves through as the Bible does talk about, the leaders and the pastors oppressing the poor and oppressing those, and this is in the Old Testament, and filling their pockets and oppressing the poor and those who are needy. I've seen that with my sister. I would get so angry. Yeah, and it's a there was a new Christian in our church, and she called me up one day. She smoked. Of course, she still, your habits take a long time to get rid of, your addictions. And she had 3 kids, and she didn't want to feel forced to go to the thrift store to buy for her kids. She wanted to be able to, buy for them new clothes, which she had the right to do. But the pastor told her that she should tithe to the church and take her kids to the thrift store and stop smoking right away. take the kids to the thrift store and buy their clothes there. Now, you know what? There's nothing wrong with shopping at the thrift store. We do, because a lot of times you can find good deals there. Nothing wrong with it. But to have a leader in your church make you feel like you have to tithe, and that is the number one thing, that would not be a cheerful giver, right? The Bible says we are to be cheerful givers, and when you're forcing somebody to treat their kids one way and to treat the church better than what you're treating your kids, that's not the way it is. So I told her. She called me and talked to me, and I said, no, you do what you need to do. And if you cannot tithe at this time, God will understand. He's not judging you. In your time, when you're ready, you will, stop your smoking. You'll have a little bit extra, and you do what you feel you need to do with that. Even while we were going to church here in Saskatoon, we've only been here since 2018. We would tithe to the church sometimes, but I would rather, there's a lot of straight people here, and I would rather go buy them some lunches than be tithing to a church of wealthy people. So, and not everybody there was wealthy, and it wasn't a horrible church. I won't say that, but I just, that's my heart. My heart is to help those who are in need. And there's times that we're in need, and we've been helped over the years. And I want to give that back to those in need. So anyhow, my intention was not to head off in this direction, but that's where we started going. And I believe that it was for a reason, for a purpose. I don't know if, what I'm saying makes sense to you. It's not wrong to tithe to the church. That's not what I'm saying at all. If that's where your heart is, you do that. But I know that we gave to the extent, Nicola says it's okay, Kath. Thank you. We gave to that extent that it wasn't healthy for us financially when we were working in a church. We volunteered in the church. It was a very manipulative church that we worked in. And I know it's not the only church that is like that out there. So you need to make sure that your financial status is fine. But at the same time, when you give to the church, that's okay. I'm not saying that's wrong. But each of us, like you say, Nicola, each of us has our own individual relationship with Christ, with God, and what we feel he wants us to do. So on that note, I appreciate you guys being here. So far I've only gotten my bone broth going, but that's okay. Got my makeup done, my hair done, kind of. It's all over the place, but that's okay too. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate your input. We live on New Testament principles, and tithing is Old Testament. That's not saying I won't tithe. But whenever they talk about tithing, scripture reference is Malachi. Exactly. And it's so easy to become manipulated by that, whether it's in a church that you go to locally, or whether it's a televangelist who promises you healing if you send in. It used to be $100 years ago. Now it's $1,000. Who knows? Maybe more. Promise you healing. Well, the only one that can heal you promise you healing is Christ. And that's another whole topic. But anyhow, I'm going to cut this off. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you very much. We'll see you around. I'll see you on your channels. And thanks for joining me. And also, Sophie, I also mentioned this. Didn't mean to keep you on this, but I don't find many people that will admit this. No, that's true. And I'm fine talking about it as long as you both are. Those who want to hear about it will be with me, or be with us three. And if they don't want to, they just won't be, and that's okay too. So, no, definitely, there's not a lot of people who want to talk about this, because we have been taught a blind faith, and that I believe is wrong. We believe in God because we see his hand at work in our personal lives, not because somebody up front is going to be telling us to believe and how to believe in God. So that's just my little tidbit. I will say, Sophie, And Nicola, I did mention this to you, Nicola, as well. So if you ever want to be on one of my lives, I do lives. Usually they're Thursday nights. I've got the next 3 Thursdays booked up. I enjoyed the chat as well, and I'm glad that you joined us. So take care, guys. We will talk to you again, and I'm going to go driving with my son. Well, he's going to drive, and I'm just going to sit in the car. Take care. Love you all. Bye. That's awesome. So reach out to me. My email address is on the description of my channel if you want to do that, or it's kathleen'splace71 at gmail.com. So I would write it on here, but when I don't know how to do comments on the cell phone through live. But if not, I'll find you on your channel and we can touch base that way as well. So take care, guys. Love you both. Talk to you later. I love you all. Bye-bye.